Alrighty guys, so good night's sleep. It's actually a little later than what we wanted to get up. It's currently 9 o'clock. So Bart just woke up. I woke up about 10 minutes ago, and we were going to cook breakfast, but I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go set traps before more rain hits. So that way we're not, doing it in the rain. So we're going to get woken up and load up the trapping stuff and start trapping, so stay with us. Alrighty guys, so we're out in the woods now. We're gonna set some traps. Bart's gonna talk a little bit about trapping, kind of go over some trapping basics and things like that. So you've seen I've been hunting for the past 3 or 4 days. Haven't had 1 ounce of game meat, so no squirrels, nothing. I haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything while we've been out here. So we're just gonna go ahead and set some traps because we need to thin the coyotes out in this area anyways. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get to setting some traps, and Bart's gonna walk through how to set a couple different types of traps, so stay with us. So he's gonna show you guys how to set what's called a pipe dream set, because we're having a lot of rain come in, so this set is really advantageous if you do have a lot of rain or you're in a really wet area.
All right, I'm gonna set the pipe dream set here. A lot of different videos on setting the pipe dream set. Mark Zagler's the one from New York that first came up with it, Coyote U. A lot of people think that just setting a pipe dream set is just driving a piece of PVC in the ground and sticking some bait in it and putting your trap in front of it. But there's more to it than that for the pipe dream set. And the reason we want to use this set here today is because there's impending rain coming. So we want to try to get this as weatherproof as possible. Instead of just driving the PVC in the ground and setting the trap in front of it, the true pipe dream is actually set on the levers. The trap is set on its levers, and there's a void underneath it, and that void allows the water to run down and through the grass and stuff that's put on top of the trap. And you use a wire screen cover, a wire pan cover, wire screen, and what that does is that allows evaporation to come from the moisture underneath the trap, come through the screen out into the atmosphere, and vice versa, and it keeps your trap working in adverse conditions. And instead of the dirt hole being flooded out now, which they will with the rain and stuff, they'll fill up with water and your bait will be underwater then. Be harder for them to smell it. This will keep your bait working when it rains and stuff, to where that, and it don't have to, a lot of people think it has to be a visual. Oh, that's a visual. They see that. Not necessarily, because I've seen on Mark Zagler's video himself actually cover this up to where that it's not, I'm not using it for a visual itself, but rather just a bait holder. I like to set my trap center of the pan, back 9 inches and off 3, and I always face the dog that direction. So I'm back 9 and off about 3 to the center of the pan. That's me. To the left or the right, that's personal preference. It's the way I do it. Now there's no set in stone method. Some people like to be up real close, right dead center. Some people like to be off to a certain side or the other. I can't say that I've noticed a difference on right or left. But I do know, for me personally, I've had better success with 9 inches back and 3 inches either right or left. I'm going to go to the left this time because I want to leave this grass right here. It was there on its own. It's natural. I want to leave that there to kind of, they would be more apt to step out here between these 2 blades of grass here than I feel coming into it than they would be step on this. I want this really, really tight to the trap on the pipe dream set, because like I said, you're really just sitting on the levers of your trap, and you want everything under it void. I'm going to go ahead and drive my earth anchor in the bottom of the hole, which will also create another hole on down for here for water to drain into as well, away from the trap. So you always want to bed the trap solid where it's not moving no matter where you push on it. Because if something moves under their feet, that's not normal for the ground to move under an animal's feet. And it's not that they know there's a trap there, they don't even know what a trap is, obviously. They don't have that kind of thinking ability, but they do know the ground don't move under their feet. So when something moves under their feet, say it's loose in the bed and it's not bedded correctly, and it moves, then they're going to back off of that, and they're going to start digging, and it's going to look like a scientist come in there and uncovered a dinosaur bone with a toothbrush. Because you're going to have a little hole here, and then sometimes they'll flip your trap upside down, and sometimes they'll just dig down to the metal and stuff, and then they'll just leave. But either way, you've educated an animal now that's going to be harder to catch, if you ever do catch it. So always bed your trap very firmly, no matter what kind of set you're doing. Make sure your trap's bedded very firmly and it's not moving. If you push here, 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 all over it, nothing moves, nothing rocks, nothing's wonky. Second most important thing in trapping. First most important thing is location, because no matter where you put your trap, or no matter how good you bed your trap, I should say, or what kind of bait and lure you use, if it's in the middle of Walmart parking lot, you're not going to catch the animal more than likely. So location is the most important, because you have to be where the animals are. If you're not where the animals are, like I said, you can't catch them. That will, like I said, allow the evaporation and stuff to come from the ground back to the atmosphere and go back into the ground. Whereas, like say, a latex pan cover or something will be trapping that moisture. So I've chopped up some leaves here. You don't want to put whole leaves, obviously, on your set, because they could get between the coyote's leg, or the animal's leg, I should say, and the trap jaws, to where it could possibly maybe pull out. So I chopped them up really fine with scissors. The dry leaves, I went and found some dry leaves that were on top, and I'm just going to try to blend this back in a little bit. That'll kind of stick to that. I like to put it on the lower side where it's leaning this way, and that way the water can go on around it and drain down. I don't plug the whole pipe up. I leave it away for the water to go. I want to keep all my focus right here. I don't want to wipe my knife back here somewhere or spread scent all around. I want everything focused right here, because their feet will follow their nose. If their nose is going here, and because they don't want to walk around the backside because of the backing we have here. If their nose is going here, then their feet's coming here. That's another reason I like to offset it. So if their nose is here, if they do come straight on, their feet's here and here, and my pan's right there. So on this set here, I want to do what some people refer to as a scent post set. I collected this from the other side of the road and put it on this side. You want to, from what I've noticed, is if you put something this big around, or something, you know, really big, sometimes I haven't had as good a success as putting something about 6 to 8 inches diameter, something they can see over. I feel like that maybe gives them a little more confidence that, hey, there's not something going to jump out and grab them when they're over investigating. And you can move this, you know, whatever best suits you on the trap in a situation like this. You can move this wherever you want to, forwards, backwards, side to side, wherever you need to. So
what's this set called?
A lot of people call it a scent post set, because I'm going to put like a gland urine and some urine, or a gland lure and some urine on it. Mm-hmm. They may come over here and smell of it and hike their leg, yep, and urinate on it. Now I'm going to use peat moss as my pan cover on this, because I'm going to use waxed dirt. And if I use the screen pan cover on this, that waxed dirt is so fine that it just goes right through the screen, and it still gets up under your pan and stuff. The peat moss prevents me from using so much waxed dirt, because now I'm not having to feel all this here and all the way around and all that. And what I like to do to conserve that waxed dirt was, because for one, if you're buying it, it's expensive, and for two, if you make it like I do, if you make your own, you still have to buy the flake wax and stuff, but it's time consuming to sift that much dirt and then to run it through your concrete mixer with a burner underneath it to heat it up to where the flake wax will melt into the dirt, and then you got to let it cool down, because you can't just pour it in a bucket right then, or it'll be one big solid glob of dirt, waxed dirt, if you pour it in a solid. So I left the concrete mixer on without the set my night latch here without the heat under it and let it cool down that way. So I bed my trap solid. If you can see, you can push on every bit of that everywhere around this trap and it's not moving. So what it is now I can come in here with the peat moss and put it just inside the jaws. And that's my pan cover to keep the wax dirt from getting under the pan to where the pan won't function, because this peat moss is spongy and it will allow this pan to fall when it's stepped on. I also want to get the wax dirt underneath these jaws and underneath these levers so they won't freeze down to the wet ground when it gets cold at night. I'll do all this and bed my dirt, my earth into the trap real tight to where now I can come around through here, around those jaws. Now I'll come in here and I'll finish it off with just a little more wax dirt. I'd say total there I used less than this little solo cup. I probably used half a solo cup on all that. I've got some coyote scat that I picked up on another piece of property. I'm going to put it out here for a guide. And right here is my pan. And right here is my lever. I'm going to put that right there. They don't like to step on their own crap. But now also make them think, hey, there's an intruder in my area. Who is this? Let's go sniff around here and see what this is all about. Who's in my property here? And what I also do with that is I'll come in here and I'll put a little coyote urine on it. I'll put some here on this post, like something's hacked its leg and peed on the post. I'm gonna put a little bit of gland lure on here as well. And that's it. I'm done. That set is ready.
Set and ready to go for a coyote.
Yep. So the best thing about these dog-proof traps is your bait, and it don't have to be this big. I've got a bigger container so I can shake it up and get the stuff all over it, the lure that's on the cat food. And I just use shellfish oil and cat food. No big deal on that. But this is all you got to have. And it don't really have to be scent proof and stuff like the canine traps and stuff do. And it's super fast and easy. Drive your stake. Set your trap. I'll give them a little piece or two out front here. And that's it. Walk away. It's done. So we set this dog proof here, and we've got the two canine traps right behind the camera over here. And I'm going to put this other dog proof on the other side of the canine traps, because what I want to do is I want to flank my canine traps with these dog proofs, because you see how quick and simple and easy they were to set. So I'd rather catch the coons and possums in these than I would my canine traps. That way my canine traps are still working for the coyotes or whatever else, foxes, etc.
We're out here checking the trap line, and we end up getting a possum and a canine set. We have, how many DPs we have out, Bart? 6 DPs,
yeah,
dog proofs, and then 10 canine traps out right now. So we end up getting a possum and a canine trap. It's the only thing that we have got this morning. So we're going to go ahead and dispatch him, and he's dinner for tonight.